So guys, how are you doing? I hope you had a lovely day. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and welcome to my channel, guys. Can you imagine, this vlogmas has got me doing the most right now. Guys, I'm at home, I'm from work, and here I am doing a vlog for you. It's at night right now. I'm feeling very proud of myself with the inconsistency, with the consistency that I'm coming with right now, guys. I'm super exhausted, but I have to create this content for you guys. But anyway, guys, something has happened to me today and I figured I'm going to talk about it because, hey, this thing is very important, and especially during this Christmas season, most of you are going to be meeting up with family and gathering again after a very long year, a very long and hard year, and all this quarantining thing and staying at home, the restrictions and travel staff issues, and you know, all these things that have been going on in Kenya and around the world. But now, guys, when guys are meeting up, very few people are considerate, especially older generation. They are very inconsiderate of this thing called sibling rivalry. Now, I'm going to explain to you what this means in layman terms. You see, when you have brothers and sisters and they are not seeing eye to eye, and most of the time this sibling rivalry is normally started way before guys are adults. It's normally sparked when they are children, and then they grow up hating each other and grow up resenting each other and feeling like they have unresolved issues that they have not tackled yet, and it keeps piling and piling. And for some siblings, they keep grudges and they end up not getting over anything that happened. So guys, hear me out. This conversation is very important, and especially as we are raising kids who are intellectually independent and kids who are very vocal at this point in time. And in our generation too, we have people who are very vocal about their feelings and they end up telling you things as they are. So I feel like as we are raising kids, and right now as a mother, this topic is something that we should discuss and we should never avoid at any cost, guys. Let me tell you, there are so many ways as a parent you can make your child resent you yourself, resent you as a mother or resent you as a father from taking sides. You know, sibling rivalry normally starts with parents who take sides and start giving favoritism to kids. You find like the dad favors the daughter most, or the mother favors the son most, and especially if it's just two kids in that family, you end up having to take sides. You find the kid ends up doing something and then, you know, pushes blame to the other kid. And as they grow up, if you find a kid who is more vocal and one who is more quiet, the quiet one ends up feeling all the pinch and feeling resentment as they grow up. Eventually these siblings will end up not liking each other at all, and they'll be avoiding each other. And listen, it's at this point in time in Christmas or Thanksgiving or whatever occasion guys normally have that bring family together, that you find most of us would rather be away than deal with all this. Family is normally a setup where people come, mingle, and, you know, share what they've been up to, all the good things that have been happening to them, support each other. But hey, let me tell you for free, and as much as we all want to deny this, every family has got that sibling rivalry going on chini ya maji, and we don't know. So guys, let me share with you steps that I feel to me would be very helpful to end sibling rivalry as it's starting or before it starts creeping into your family. The first thing is, and if you have kids, by the way, make sure you take note of what I'm telling you, because this is something that is very personal to me, honestly. Make sure you take note of every single thing I'm telling you before you regret not listening to me. Now, the first thing is always stay neutral. Never show your kids that you have a favorite. Every parent has a favorite. I acknowledge that and I know that. But guys, never show that you have a favorite, and never show your favorite child to the other child. Because let me tell you, the moment one feels special, they're going to take advantage of that and they will always pull you towards their side, and the other siblings are normally watching. Trust me, you don't want to leave these kids on earth when you're away fighting over stuff and fighting amongst themselves, threatening to kill each other and stuff. Okay, another thing is never take sides. Whatever happens, never take sides. Never ever take sides, because the moment you start taking sides, that's when you start validating the bad behaviors that these kids normally have. You see, kids are people who normally test you. They want to see how far can you go, how far can you punish them, how far can you let them go, how far can you overlook whatever is happening. So do not take sides, guys. Don't take sides. When you see something has been done wrong, make sure you call it for what it is, whichever kid does it, make sure you call it for what it is early as possible. And let me tell you for free, guys, most of the time when these things are happening and you overlook them, all these siblings normally watch and they say, you never punish this one, why are you punishing me? And it kind of affects them mentally. So guys, somebody says that you should not get involved in whatever fight is happening between siblings. Me, I disagree. What I feel is this: once you see a trend in certain behavior, it's important for you to intervene. You putting your foot down or giving your stand helps these kids know the right from wrong. It also helps them knowing that whenever you upload a behavior or whenever you restrict a behavior, you already have a stand. So when you go ahead and share your stand, when you go ahead and put your foot down and say this is your opinion and this is something that you don't want to ever happen, it helps end sibling rivalry. So guys, another thing that is very important, and I'm pretty sure the guys who were having this discussion with are watching this video. Let me tell you, when these siblings are calm and there's no triggers and guys are done fighting and stuff, you as a parent, you as a guardian, you as the older person, it's very important. And even if you're a friend on the other side, and you can be able to make sure these people come together, whatever powers you have to bring them come together and for them to be able to listen to you, it's very important to let them, put them in that circle, put them in that position that they have to face each other, so that they address these issues themselves and they look for a resolution themselves. Do not involve yourself in the solution that can be found between these two people and whatever they were fighting. The moment you decide you're going to get involved in the resolution process, you're going to make these people immature for the rest of their lives. They will not be able to address stuff. There'll be no relationship between the two of them, because at the end of the day, you want to create a relationship between them. You want to create a good relationship between these two, because at the end of the day, they are family. So it's important that you put yourself on the side, let these people have a conversation, let them have an understanding, let them get to know each other better, so that they can be able to resolve and be accountable for whatever they agree on, so that in future anything happens, they can be able to go back themselves and say, hey, this is what happened, we agreed this is not going to happen again. So what do we do going further? Let me tell you, the moment you get yourself involved, you've already spoiled that relationship, because it's a link. That is the link. They're siblings. They should be able to work things out on themselves by their own, by themselves. What am I saying? By themselves. Because let me tell you guys for free, life happens. People grow up. People become even 40s and 50s and they still hawaelewani as siblings. You know why? Because there was always somebody who is intervening. There's always somebody who was coming in, acting neutral and, just intervening in whatever was happening. Please do not intervene. Whatever age these siblings are in, do not intervene. Let them sit and agree and look for the best solution. Come, find out what they've agreed later, and then make sure they're accountable to whatever they have agreed to. Guys, I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm passing this information. If you feel that I'm being wrong, please, or kama tuelewani, tukutane kwa comment section. That is my stand. Guys, let me tell you, in this whole process of sibling rivalry, one kid can feel more vulnerable and end up hating every other person that is involved in that whole situation. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. You see, if you're a parent, or if you're a fellow sibling, or if you have a brother, for example, or a sister, and the brother and sister are arguing over something and they always have issues between themselves now. So you as a third party, when you come into the picture, it's important to know that you also stand a chance to lose, to be part of that whole relationship between the two of them, or them separately or them together as a family. Now let me make this very clear, and so I can make more sense to you is this. Now if for example I have my uncle who probably has a son, and I I'm the nephew, or I'm adopted, and then we have an issue with that son the whole of that time, and my uncle he doesn't always trust that I'm going to make a good judgment, or we can be able to resolve whatever we're doing between the two of us. Either I or the son, one of us is going to feel less credible, and they're going to be able to have trust issues with you as an adult we mwenyewe. So me, honestly, right now I'd be like, Why is my uncle acting like I don't know how to handle things? Why doesn't he feel like I have feelings too, or that I can be able to stand my ground and say what I want and what I don't want? Let me tell you for free, guys, if you want your child to maintain that trust with you, to be able to trust that you are going to take the right step, or that you love them both, or that you're neutral and you don't want the worst for any, you just want the best for the two of them, please. So I wanted to give you tips on how to be able to curb this whole situation, and especially if you have very young kids and you have that time to be able to correct stuff, it's important to encourage teamwork in whatever is being done in the house. If it's house chores, make sure they all do it as a team. If there's anything that they need to go and do on the outside, make sure they do it as a team so that they can be able to, work together and, be able to have that routine that is favorable for all of them. It also gives them a common ground on what they like and the favorite stuff they like doing. So teamwork is very important. Make sure when they get along, make sure you compliment them, applaud them for whatever they're doing, because guys, this is work, and especially if it's siblings who have had an age gap, or if it's siblings that are of different sexes, it's important for them to know that they're actually trying. It's important for the parents to show that, hey, you're doing a good job. If your behavior is right, if you're doing things positively, it's important for you to applaud them so that they can be able to see that you're seeing and that you're acknowledging and you're trusting the process. If you can, go ahead and cook together as a family. Make sure you involve yourself in the whole activity that you're doing with your kids so that they all see that there is no favorism happening in the house. Make sure you teach your kids about feelings. It's important for your kids to know that you know when they're feeling bad, and sometimes it's not good to suppress a kid's feelings. In fact, not sometimes, it's not good to suppress any kid's feelings. It's important for you to hear them out. In case somebody is frustrated or a kid is not happy about something, hear them out. Teach them to understand and to be able to communicate their feelings as early as possible, and make sure that you're able to read body language. Make sure that the other kids are also able to read body language, so in case someone is uncomfortable, the other sibling can be able to tell and can be able to retract in case it's something they're doing unintentionally. Guys, it's also good to reminisce with the other kids and the family as a whole. You see, occasions like this as Christmas, people go back to old photos, go back to old videos, share old times, share old memories. These are things that connect siblings together, and every other time we do this, and every other time there's a connection that brings these kids together, it helps end sibling rivalry. I don't know if I'm making sense. Encourage playtime where they have to work together. If that happens, trust you me, guys, and especially if they have opponents, you see, if like cousins are coming together, brothers are coming together, if there's cards being played, if there's this, what's this game called, shakes, if there's so many things, activities that are being worked on, and you make sure you pair them up and put them, siblings, and especially those who don't get along, it encourages them to work together and be able to, put their minds together and have a common ground. Now, guys, another thing that you need to do is to avoid comparison. Stop saying this thing of, oh, you see this one is better than you at this, oh, you see this one is performing better than you, why are you worst, oh, you see this one is eating better, why are you not eating. It's important to know that each kid is different, and that independence, when you give it to them and when you acknowledge that they have feelings, it's going to go a long way to end sibling rivalry, trust me. And then you see, other kids might feel superior to others, and others have ego that grows in them that is from here to Timbuktu, that they feel like, oh, they're the most protected ones, or they're the most smart kids in that household. Guys, it's important to avoid comparison between your kids. Stop it. If you've started doing it, just stop it. Set boundaries and make sure you enforce the limits to that, to being able to get to those boundaries. Make sure you set boundaries and make sure you enforce limits. Now, when you set boundaries, people know when they are going wrong, they will retract. But when you don't set boundaries, nobody knows they're going wrong, and as they're going and as they're doing whatever they're doing, they end up hurting each other and stepping on each other's foot. So if you don't tell them they're wrong when they're wrong, how will they know they're wrong? If somebody doesn't come through and tell them, hey, you're hurting this person, how will they know that they're doing that? Unless the other person complains. And then you see, if it's the two of them, they start having that altercation and start arguing, and at the end of the day it's not healthy. So it's important for them to know, these are my limits, this is where I'm supposed to get to, and if I do wrong, or if I do something that is going to, you know, go against these boundaries, I have to deal with the consequences, regardless of whether I'm the favorite, I'm the most smart kid, or I'm the most unfortunate. Because also ones that feel that they're most unfortunate feel like they deserve more sympathy, or they deserve more attention than other kids. Yeah. Also, it's important to celebrate acts of kindness for one another. You see, when a kid is being nice, when a kid is being kind to another, it's very, very important, and especially in front of people, to acknowledge and celebrate those acts of kindness, so that they know that when I do right, I'm going to get rewarded. And as they're growing up, it becomes natural for them to be kind. I don't know if that makes sense. Plan special times for each child every day. So depending on the personalities that you have, sometimes you might find kids that have special interests that, you know, need your attention separately. Sometimes you find kids who love the same things. It depends with how your family is. But remember, every kid is different, and you creating time for each kid is very important, because that way you can be, the kids are able to feel your presence. They're able to feel like they're equally loved, and make sure one knows that this is somebody else's time. When it's your time, it's your time. When it's this one's time, it's this one's time, so that they all know that you have no favorism. Guys, this favorism issue is what is causing sibling rivalry, and if we do not talk about this, if we do not curb this, we will never end this thing. We will never end this thing. Now, like right now, I only have one son, but when I get another child, like right now when I come from work, I spend a lot of time with my boy. We sit down, we play, we try and read a book, we try and draw. When I get another child, it's going to be the same. I will allocate a few minutes to this one and a few minutes to this one, because sometimes I feel like my son feels like I'm too much into his business, I'm too much all over him. But when at least you can be able to allocate this time for this kid, this time for this kid, you know, on the weekends, today I'm spending time with this one, today I want to get to know what this one has been up to during the week, what he's been learning, what movies he's been watching, if he's been watching Squid Game, because me, honestly, I don't advocate watching Squid Game. That's a story for another day. What I'm trying to say is just allocate enough time for every child. Guys, I have to go, and really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel, if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for watching my video. I know this video was untimely, and hence the reason I put up the ring light, so that I can be able to have this conversation with you guys, because I feel this conversation is so much normally overlooked, and it's very important for us to be able to acknowledge the presence of sibling rivalry, and not live in a shadow, not live in a cave thinking that these things don't happen. They do, and acknowledging it is the first step of healing this entire process. It happens when kids are young, when they're older. It happens for every generation. It never stops. It's not new. It's been happening since time immemorial. So guys, please go down below, comment down below, and tell me if you've had the same experience at some point in time. If you know of such an experience, share with me your views. Tell me what you think, because I feel this thing is very personal to me, and it's important that I share out there, so that also somebody else can watch and be able to gain something, gain one or two things, or maybe if they're in a dilemma, they can be able to know how to cope with this whole situation and end it before their kids start hating each other. So thank you for watching my video. I'll see you in my next vlog. Bye.